There's chatter again of them stopping the production of civilian ammo.
Some of the things are quite alarming. So in addition to the fact that Lake City has halted sales to civilians,
Billions of dollars building new facilities to produce that particular caliber.
While being in an election year, okay, we have the trifecta of holy crap going on right now.
Uncertainty surrounding ammo production. The recent developments surrounding the U.S. Army Small Arms Ammunition Manufacturing Plant, Lake City Ammo in Independence, Missouri, have raised concerns about the potential cessation of civilian ammunition production. This facility has been a significant source of civilian ammo, particularly in popular sporting rifle calibers. The catalyst for this concern lies in the U.S. Army's transition to the 6.8mm caliber, a major investment involving billions of dollars in new facilities. This new caliber is currently undergoing extensive testing within the military and is poised to enter production for military use. Consequently, the widely used 5.56mm caliber, which constitutes a substantial portion of the commercial ammo produced by Lake City Ammo, is anticipated to be phased out. While this transition was anticipated, the critical question remains: is the cessation of civilian ammo production at Lake City Ammo actually happening?
One of the, if not the biggest manufacturer in the entire country.
There's chatter again of them stopping the production of civilian ammo.
Fortunately, it looks like we might be headed towards another ammunition shortage.
Attempts to ascertain this information directly from the plant's communication director and Winchester Olin Ammo Corporation's communication director yielded no responses, despite persistent outreach. In light of these developments, it is prudent for consumers to consider the potential impact on the availability of certain calibers and take appropriate measures, such as stocking up on ammunition while it is still readily accessible. As this situation continues to unfold, maintaining awareness of any official announcements or updates from relevant authorities will be crucial for individuals who rely on these products for various purposes, including sporting and self-defense activities. Lake City Ammo shift. The situation around Lake City Ammo in Independence, Missouri is causing a lot of speculation. Reports are suggesting that they are canceling their commercial contracts, indicating a potential shift in their production focus. It's important to note that despite repeated attempts, the communications directors from both Winchester and Lake City Ammo have not responded, adding an air of mystery to the situation. One confirmed aspect is the U.S. Army's transition to a new caliber, 6.8 by 51, and the substantial investment in facilities to produce this ammunition.
Obviously, the U.S. Army is switching their calibers to 6.8.
Another massive price jump. You would see less on the shelves.
Billions of dollars building new facilities to produce that particular caliber.
This shift implies that the production of the current 5.56 caliber, widely used in civilian sporting rifles, will eventually be phased out. Currently, Lake City Ammo supplies approximately 30% of the commercial 5.56 ammo. While it's not certain if the production halt has occurred yet, the signs point in that direction. Media outlets are reporting on the cancellation of commercial contracts, which aligns with the broader shift happening in the industry. The U.S. Army's continuous investment in new facilities for the new caliber suggests they're looking to modernize and upgrade their ammunition arsenal. In decision, while we're not making definitive assumptions, the signs and reports strongly indicate that a significant shift is happening in Lake City Ammo. Whether the complete halt in civilian ammo production has occurred or is still on the horizon, it's crucial for enthusiasts to be prepared for these changes in the ammunition industry. Keeping a close watch on updates from Lake City Ammo and related outlets will provide a clearer picture of the situation. Lake City Ammo contracts. The Lake City Ammunition Plant, which is government-owned but operated by Olin Winchester, has reportedly terminated all its commercial contracts. This development signifies a significant shift in the availability of ammunition, particularly in the popular 5.56 caliber. At present, Lake City supplies approximately 30% of the civilian market's 5.56 ammunition. Typically, the facility produces ammunition for government use, and when there is surplus, it is sold to consumers or distributors. However, if the reports about the cancellation of commercial contracts are accurate, it indicates that the U.S. government's demand for ammunition has surged to a level where the excess production is no longer available for sale. Winchester's 5.56 ammunition, which has been widely available, is poised to see a significant reduction in availability due to the reported contract cancellations. Lake City, being the largest supplier for the U.S. government and military, holds the distinction of being the largest small arms ammunition factory worldwide. It's worth noting that Winchester, while having 3 ammunition production facilities, appears to manufacture 5.56 exclusively at Lake City. The consequences of these contract cancellations are expected to be felt at arms stores across the country. Winchester 5.56, once a common sight on store shelves, may become scarce. Distributors will likely face challenges in sourcing new shipments, causing existing stock to dwindle over time. This abrupt change in the ammunition supply chain is set to impact both consumers and retailers. In rapid, the reported cancellation of commercial contracts by the Lake City ammunition plant, operated by Olin Winchester, marks a significant shift in the ammunition market. This development, if confirmed, will likely lead to a notable decrease in the availability of Winchester 5.56 ammunition, impacting arms stores and distributors nationwide. Ammunition market disruptions. The recent cancellation of contracts by the Lake City ammo plant, which accounts for 30% of the civilian market's 5.56 ammunition, has sparked concerns about the future availability and pricing of ammunition. This development could potentially have significant ramifications for consumers, distributors, and the arms industry as a whole. One immediate consequence of these cancellations is the likely increase in ammunition prices. With a sudden reduction in supply, basic economic principles suggest that prices are poised to surge. This shift may have a notable impact on the cost of ammunition for consumers, potentially making it less accessible and more expensive. This is a concern for both enthusiasts and those who rely on arms for personal security. Additionally, the timing of these contract cancellations is noteworthy. Coming in an election year, there tends to be increased demand for arms and ammunition.
We see the numbers start to dwindle. The shelves become bare, and it becomes very hard to find and also very, very expensive.
Now, obviously, at that point, the 5.56 is going to be phased out.
While being in an election year, we have the trifecta of holy crap going on right now.
Driven by political and social factors. This heightened demand, coupled with reduced supply, creates an environment conducive to further price inflation. Another factor influencing the ammunition market is a recent incident at a Hornady ammo facility, where an explosion resulted in a tragic fatality. Understanding the reason behind these contract cancellations is crucial in assessing the potential implications. Ammo plants, particularly those government-owned but operated by contractors, can only engage in commercial sales when they produce surplus ammunition beyond the government's requirements. Therefore, the cancellation of contracts suggests either production challenges or a significant increase in the government's ammunition needs. The announcement of these cancellations coincides with the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine, adding a layer of geopolitical complexity. This raises questions about whether the U.S. government is anticipating a potential increase in its involvement in the region. Speculation also arises regarding whether the U.S. is supplying significant quantities of 5.56 ammunition to one of the parties involved. The combination of reduced supply, increased demand in an election year, and the recent incident at a Hornady facility all contribute to an environment where ammunition prices are likely to surge. Furthermore, the government's increased demand for ammunition, indicated by these cancellations, raises important questions about the underlying factors driving this shift. The complex geopolitical context, including the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, adds an additional layer of uncertainty to the situation. As this situation continues to unfold, it will be essential to closely monitor developments in the ammunition market, implications, and speculations. The recent developments surrounding the Lake City ammo plant have ignited discussions about potential implications for arm control and the ammunition market. Last weekend, a bipartisan deal on arm control measures was announced in the U.S. Senate. While the outcome of such measures remains uncertain, the executive branch's intervention may influence senators' stances on the issue. In 2015, President Obama's attempt to use the ATF to ban green tip ammo similar to the M855 now under scrutiny, faced congressional objections. The round's widespread popularity, coupled with concerns over common use, prevented its ban. The current situation differs in that it focuses on restricting civilian sales from a specific plant rather than an outright ban on the ammunition. While this does not constitute a complete ban on 5.56 ammunition, the Lake City ammo plant is a major supplier for the Department of Defense, and its share of the market accounts for a significant 30%. The potential discontinuation of civilian sales from this plant could have far-reaching effects on the ammunition market. This development raises questions about the impact on ammunition prices. With a sudden 30% reduction in the supply, it is likely that prices will experience an upward trend.
So if there was a commercial supply chain interruption from Lake City, it would have a massive ripple effect.
Some of the things are quite alarming. So in addition to the fact that Lake City has halted sales to civilians,
30% of the commercial ammo in 5.56 comes from Lake City Ammo Manufacturing Plant by the U.S. Army.
Additionally, as the U.S. approaches an election year, which historically exerts upward pressure on arms and ammunition prices, the convergence of these factors may lead to further price hikes. Simultaneously, the recent explosion at a Hornady ammo facility, resulting in a fatality, adds another layer of uncertainty to the market. While it is unclear how this incident will affect prices, it is unlikely to contribute to any price reduction. The decision to halt commercial contracts from the Lake City ammo plant has prompted speculation regarding the motives behind it. Government-owned, contract-operated ammo plants can only engage in commercial sales when there is a surplus beyond the government's requirements. This situation suggests either production challenges or an anticipation of an increased demand for ammunition by the government. Furthermore, the timing of this development, coinciding with the escalating conflict between Israel and Palestine, sparks questions about the government's expectations of potential U.S. involvement. This prompts inquiries into whether the U.S. government is supplying significant quantities of 5.56 ammunition to any party involved. Indecision. The cessation of civilian sales from the Lake City ammo plant may signify a significant shift in the ammunition market. While not a complete ban, this decision could lead to increased prices and potential disruptions. The motives behind this move, including possible government contracts redirecting surplus ammo, add further complexity to the situation. As these events unfold, it remains crucial to monitor how these changes will impact both the ammunition market and arm control discussions. Government's surplus ammo. The recent development concerning the Lake City ammo plant indeed raises questions about the government's intentions and plans for the surplus ammunition. While it's important to approach this with a level-headed perspective, it's natural to speculate given the magnitude of this decision. One possible explanation is heightened military preparedness. The government may anticipate the need for increased stockpiles of ammunition due to geopolitical tensions or conflicts. This could involve international scenarios, such as potential conflicts with major powers like Russia or China. In such cases, having a substantial supply of ammunition readily available is crucial for national defense. Additionally, this surplus ammunition might be directed towards domestic security measures. While it's not appropriate to jump to conclusions about potential civil conflicts, governments often plan for worst-case scenarios. The surplus ammunition could serve as a contingency in case of unforeseen domestic challenges or emergencies. Another perspective could be related to the evolving nature of modern warfare. With advancements in military technology, there may be a shift in the types and quantities of ammunition required. The government might be reevaluating its ammunition needs in light of these changes. Furthermore, the government's decision could be tied to international obligations or alliances. It's possible that the U.S. has committed to providing ammunition to certain allies or partners in times of need. This surplus could help fulfill those commitments. While it's tempting to let our imaginations run wild, it's important to remember that there may be bureaucratic or logistical reasons behind this decision that are not immediately apparent. It's also possible that the government is merely adjusting its procurement strategy in response to changing circumstances. However, the lack of transparency in communicating these changes can understandably lead to speculation and concern. This highlights the importance of clear and open communication between the government and its citizens, particularly when it comes to matters of national security.
Because Bruin said that that's unconstitutional, so they drafted SB 2, which was originally introduced back in December.
I think worse than that, sir. You will see millions of otherwise law-abiding citizens
that had you prove some type of special need in order to get a permit.
But now there is a right to possess a handgun outside the home.
While it's natural to ponder the reasons behind the government's decision, it's crucial to approach this issue with a measured perspective. There may be valid reasons for redirecting this surplus ammunition, and it's important to trust that the government is acting in the best interests of national security. Nonetheless, a degree of transparency and communication would go a long way in alleviating concerns and preventing unnecessary speculation. Future of ammo production. The recent developments regarding the Lake City ammo plant and its canceled commercial contracts have raised questions about the future of ammunition production in the U.S. This situation, operated by Olin Winchester but owned by the U.S. government, signifies potential shifts in the supply chain and availability of ammunition for civilians. One of the primary concerns revolves around the dependence on a single facility, the Lake City plant, for a significant portion of the civilian market's 5.56 ammunition. With 30% of the market supplied by this plant, the sudden cessation of commercial contracts is expected to have far-reaching consequences. The shelves of arms stores and distributors may see a marked reduction in available Winchester 5.56 ammunition. In addition, this development might lead to an increase in ammunition prices. With a substantial portion of the supply disappearing overnight, basic economic principles suggest that prices are likely to surge. This could lead to financial strain on consumers, potentially affecting their ability to engage in recreational shooting and other activities reliant on affordable ammunition. Another crucial aspect to consider is the potential impact on the arms industry as a whole. Smaller manufacturers and businesses that rely heavily on the Lake City plant's output may find themselves in a precarious position. The sudden discontinuation of a significant source of ammunition could lead to disruptions in production schedules, delays in deliveries, and increased costs for businesses that need to secure alternative sources. Furthermore, there is a political dimension to this situation. The timing of this event, amid discussions of bipartisan arm control measures in the U.S. Senate, raises questions about the potential influence of government policies on ammunition availability. While the executive branch's decision to halt civilian sales from the Lake City plant may not directly impact arm control legislation, it could indirectly affect the political landscape. This move might prompt senators to reconsider their stance on arm control, potentially leading to shifts in the dynamics of the ongoing discussions. Additionally, the recent incident at a Hornady ammo facility, resulting in an explosion and a fatality, further complicates the ammunition market.
There is no other right where we require individuals to show a need in order to be able to exercise that right.
Contrast that with what Republicans did to address gun violence and crime the last time they were in charge.
And there's been quite a few amendments. Well, the last thing to happen just happened yesterday.
So basically it's saying if there hasn't been something like this done in all of our history, then it can't be imposed, right?
While the full extent of the consequences remains uncertain, it is unlikely to contribute to lower ammunition prices. Instead, this incident may exacerbate the challenges posed by the cancellation of commercial contracts with the Lake City plant. In light of these developments, it is crucial for stakeholders in the arms industry, as well as consumers, to monitor the situation closely. Exploring alternative sources of ammunition and considering potential policy implications will be essential in navigating the evolving landscape of ammunition production and availability in the U.S. As the industry adapts to these changes, it is important for individuals to stay informed and prepared for potential shifts in the market. Implications for arm control. The recent move to cancel commercial contracts with the Lake City ammo plant has potential implications for the ongoing discussions surrounding arm control in the U.S. While the decision to halt civilian sales from the plant does not directly impact arm control legislation, it introduces elements that could indirectly influence the debate. First and foremost, this development highlights the intricate relationship between ammunition production and arm ownership. Ammunition is a critical component of arm operation, and any disruption in its availability or affordability can have a substantial impact on arm owners and enthusiasts. The cancellation of contracts with the Lake City plant, which supplies a significant portion of the civilian market, could lead to increased prices and reduced access to ammunition. This could potentially affect the ability of law-abiding citizens to exercise their Second Amendment rights responsibly. The timing of this event coincides with bipartisan discussions on arm control measures in the U.S. Senate. While the executive branch's decision to halt civilian sales is not a direct legislative move, it introduces a factor that senators may consider in their deliberations. The sudden disruption in ammunition supply from a major plant may prompt senators to reevaluate their positions on arm control, potentially leading to shifts in the dynamics of the ongoing discussions. Additionally, this situation underscores the potential for government policies to indirectly influence arms and ammunition availability.
Shall not be infringed. Take all of the guns from all of the people. That's their goal. There's a hearing that you can't be at, your counsel can't be present, you haven't been charged with the crime.
There are many areas, as you might imagine, especially when you're dealing with firearms, where we just don't know.
The decision to prioritize government contracts over civilian sales from the Lake City plant reflects a strategic move by the executive branch. While the primary motivation may be to meet government demand for ammunition, it inadvertently affects the civilian market. This dynamic highlights the interconnectedness of government policies, ammunition production, and arm ownership. Furthermore, the incident at a Hornady Arms facility, resulting in an explosion and a fatality, adds another layer to the discussion. While the full extent of the consequences remains uncertain, it is clear that this incident will not contribute to lower ammunition prices. Instead, it may exacerbate the challenges posed by the cancellation of commercial contracts with the Lake City plant. This incident could potentially factor into discussions on arm control, as safety and regulation within the ammunition production industry come under scrutiny. Response from stakeholders. The decision to cancel commercial contracts with the Lake City ammo plant has elicited various responses from different stakeholders in the arms and ammunition industry. Enthusiasts and civilian consumers are concerned about the potential implications of this decision. Many rely on Lake City-produced ammunition for their shooting activities, and the sudden cancellation of contracts has raised fears about the availability and affordability of .556 ammunition. Some are already experiencing shortages and price increases, leading to frustration and uncertainty within this community. Arms store owners and distributors who rely on a steady supply of ammunition to meet customer demand are also feeling the impact. With the cancellation of contracts, they face the prospect of dwindling stock and increased difficulty in sourcing ammunition. Some may need to explore alternative suppliers, potentially leading to disruptions in their businesses. Olin Winchester, as the operator of the Lake City plant, is directly affected by this decision. While they continue to fulfill military contracts, the reduction in commercial production may have financial implications for the company. They will need to assess the potential impact on their revenue and operations, and may need to adjust their strategies accordingly. The U.S. military, being the primary recipient of ammunition from the Lake City plant, may view this decision as necessary to ensure an adequate supply for their operations. They might see it as a strategic move to prioritize military readiness, especially in light of evolving global geopolitical situations. This decision may reflect a shift in defense priorities and the need for increased stockpiles. Regulators and policymakers may be monitoring the situation closely. They may view the cancellation of commercial contracts as a reflection of broader trends in national security and defense policy. It could prompt discussions about the need for domestic ammunition production capacity and its allocation between military and civilian markets.
Not only to possess a handgun in your home for self-defense.
And we reached the owner of Rare Breed by phone. They said they're resubmitting evidence.
The co-chair of the Second Amendment Caucus, Mr. Massey.
They're going to have to show that there weren't other less restrictive.
Other ammunition manufacturers and suppliers may view this development as an opportunity to capture a larger share of the civilian market. With a significant player like Lake City potentially reducing its output for civilians, competitors may seek to fill the gap and expand their market presence. Arm rights advocacy groups and industry associations are likely monitoring the situation and may use it to advocate for policy changes or increased domestic ammunition production capacity. They may also engage in discussions about the potential impact on Second Amendment rights and the availability of arms-related products for law-abiding citizens. In conclusion, the decision to cancel commercial contracts with the Lake City ammo plant has triggered a range of responses from stakeholders across the arms and ammunition industry. The implications of this decision are significant and have the potential to shape the availability and pricing of ammunition for both military and civilian users in the foreseeable future. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.